San Diego, but Coronado Bridge. It's a little foggy tonight. Not bad, but a little bit, just a little bit. This San Diego right here. This is how you do it. Man, if you ain't knowing, you better ask somebody. Standing tall with Snowroc. No one is wrong. So I'm gonna let you get on with this one. If you can put on another one and see what's cracking. Because we out here San Diego Bay. Look, you can see the Coronado Bridge right over my shoulders. Look at that. That's some big shoulders too.
Oh yeah, that's a nice view.
Look at that.
Oh man.
Can you see that view? Come on, come over here. Look. This is the view I want to see right there. Yeah. Now you stay here. I'm gonna get 1,000,000 views. Watch that. Man, look, they ain't knowing I have the most beautiful wife in San Diego. In San Diego. But look, the Coronado Bridge right there. We got boats going by. But look. There's a boat right there. And that's just about to go right in front of the pier. See where the pier is? Yep. There's another boat.
That's the Rady Shell right there.
Yep, that's the Rady Shell. Rady Shell's right there. We've been fishing there. You caught the dancing octopus there on that pier. Yes. Well, we've been around here before. This is our territory.
He wants me to talk like before what I'm talking about. Anyways, this is beautiful. I'm so thankful. HP does this. I don't know to say anybody out here. Anyway, this is beautiful. Fascinating. Okay. Joseph, come on back over here. I do not know what to say to people. We need a topic here. Give me a topic.
The topic is San Diego is the topic. We out here in San Diego. Look at this. It's so beautiful. And I get to enjoy this with the best part of my life. Yeah. So, everybody, you don't get to see her. This is the woman behind the camera half the time when I'm doing my videos. This is my wife, Nicole Faye. Best part of my life. Like I say, I'm blessed by the best, praying for the rest. And life keeps getting better. You know what I mean? You know, it's work needs to be done. You got to do the work. But if you do the work, this is what I get. Man, I'm going to be working. I'll be working. We having a good old time, you know what I'm saying? You know, this is the company Christmas party got us out here, you know what I'm saying? You know, at the Marriott. So, you know what I mean? You know, it's beautiful out here. You can't, man, look, you know, this is the balcony. We've been walking. We've been walking today.
The zoo is nice, yeah.
We've been walking. We be walking. What we got? Look, they go the ferry right there. Coronado. Well, I don't know. Depending on which way the current is going right now, you know, they got the little ferry that goes from Coronado, which you can see Coronado. That's all lit up right here in the background. Coronado. Got the Coronado Bridge. Where,
yeah. Which way?
There. The Coronado Bridge, and then Coronado is over there, right behind her head. Look,
Yeah.
look, right here. Oh, all that is Coronado.
Ooh.
It's hard when it's
Yeah.
it's that way. It's right there. You guys can't see this. It's right there. Look, follow my finger. I can't follow my finger. Where'd it go? Follow one of them. No spirit fingers either. I saw that. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Living life. You know, this is I am so blessed. You know, I've come a long way from the beginning. And people don't know the beginning. You know what I mean? You know, me and my wife, we just celebrated our 7th anniversary. 7 years. We've been together for how long?
More like 17 years.
So it took me a long time to commit. I have, you know what I'm saying, you know, I have issues. But, you know, I found a winner. Not a chicken dinner. So blessed. But, you know what I'm saying, you know, our family's growing. You know, I'm Grandpa Joey now. You know, life, you know what I'm saying, you know, life keeps getting better. I'm gonna keep pushing, you know. I work. You know what I mean? You know, I think I work hard. But you know what I'm saying,
Yes,
you know,
you
I'm sure it's other people that work harder than me. I'm just trying to do my part. And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying, you know, if you do your part, then things supposed to work out. I'm still waiting to see if that's we have a special guest. We have my grandbaby. Boop boop doo. Boop boop doo. Oh, we gonna do the. Do you see who this is? It's a star on the screen right now. Baby Faye. You got the cutest little baby face. There's not another one to take your place. Baby face. See, that's the best part of my day right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, whenever I can come home, you know what I'm saying? You know, and the grandbaby there, my family's growing. Life is good. Look at that. Look at that. She's a star. She's a star. Look at that. Right there. Hey, baby face. Boop boop doo. Boop boop doo.
And there it goes. Yeah.
That's my job.
Making you smile.
Making the grandbaby smile. That is my job, and I'm good at it.
5 months yesterday.
Yes, she is growing like a weed, and we are so blessed to have a new addition to the family. Everybody say hello to my granddaughter, Nevaeh.
I bring up the camera. Look at you.
Yes, see, that's the thing. We are so blessed, you know what I mean? You know, but the San Diego Bay is beautiful tonight. Man. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's like perfect weather. I'm outside right now, you know what I'm saying? You know, I can be out here in some shorts and you know what I'm saying, you know, just chilling. I got the balcony and you know, it's a beautiful night. It's a beautiful night in San Diego. For those that don't know, don't miss out on this here. If you ain't never been to San Diego, you gotta come, you know what I'm saying, you know, come and check it out. It's a lot of beauty, it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of adventures, it's a lot of things you can do to have fun. You know what I mean? You know, in San Diego. There's a lot of things you can do. So today me and my family we was at the zoo all day. I'm proud to say, you know what I'm saying, I was able to take my granddaughter to the zoo on her on her fifth month when she was 5 months old. So that's going to be a story we're going to have for the rest of our lives. But hopefully, you know what I'm saying, these are memories that last, you know, and that's what it's about. I missed out on a lot of that because I came from a dysfunctional family. My family wasn't, it wasn't a happy fun time at home. It was some issues, and there was, you know what I'm saying, other stuff involved. But we're here. I'm still here. I figure, you know what I'm saying, the man upstairs kept me here for a reason. I'm just asking him to show me what he wants me to do and give me enough strength to get it done. And look, so far, he's got me to the best place I've been in, well, since I've been alive. I'll be 54 next year in January. I'll turn 54. But this is the best I've ever been doing. I can't speak for nobody else. But this is the best I have ever been doing. I have a beautiful wife, I have a growing family, and life keeps getting better. Every now and then, you know what I'm saying, it throws me a punch, it kicks me, it throws dirt on, it kicks dirt in my eyes when I'm down. But that's the way it is. But what you gonna do? Get up, keep going. And that's what we do. And that's when you get to places like this, where right now I'm happy, I'm thankful, I'm blessed. I have so much to be thankful for. I have a beautiful family. I have, you know what I'm saying, a good job. I have, you know, I had the best, this is the best life I've ever lived. Like I said, I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for me. And yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm blessed. This is a good day. And this is just one. There's a couple more, you know. And that's just in this year. And 2025 has went fast, people. 2025 has went by very, very fast. If you think about it, a lot has happened. You know, 12 months have flew by. This month is almost over. Soon it'll be New Year's, 2026. A new chance for you to do better. A new chance for me to do better. A new chance for us to do better. That's something that's needed. Oh, all right. Now we can see a little bit better. Can you see me? Can you see me? You too near me not to hear me. So look, we telling stories tonight. We got a story for you. So this one goes back to the days of uh, when I first got released from prison. So this is uh this is me when I got out after doing 12 years. I got out. I wanted something different, so I knew I had to do something different. So when I was released, I didn't have no family left. I didn't have no place to go, and I got into a drug program. I got into a drug program called the Heartland House, and the Heartland House was where I learned about. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't get it. I didn't get it all the first time around. I had experienced AA, MA, stuff like that during incarceration as a juvenile. So I've been through classes. Sometimes they were mandatory, sometimes they were voluntary. And, sometimes we would just go in there to get the cookies and the snacks. Hey, I was a chubby kid, I was hungry. Nah, it was that's kind of that's kind of what brought most of us to the was just get some snacks. We was kids, but we were incarcerated. We was in juvenile ranch facilities called Campo. And Campo wasn't that bad. I think Campo helped me a lot because I learned a lot in Campo. And that was a juvenile facility that the first time I went to, I was 13 years old, and I was sentenced there to 6 months. And I was a knucklehead. I was a bad actor. The staff knew, and the staff, paid special attention. I'm talking about special attention to me. I had a nickname that the staff were called coaches. Now they were free staff, they weren't, but they worked for the probation department. And the free staff, they they were, they were a special bunch. Some of them were cool, some of them weren't. Some of them were nice and just wanted to do their job, and didn't want to make your life, miserable. Some of them just wanted to make your life miserable. That's the way it was. But there was, like I said, I got paid special attention, and I was given a nickname. I was called Wannabe C Down, and it was funny because the coach who called us that, that was what the coaches would call me, and so he started a name, but we had a name for him too. Because we called him the Kool-Aid Man. Because you remember, them old Kool-Aid commercials where the pitcher of Kool-Aid comes busting through the wall. Hey, Kool-Aid Man! And he comes busting through the wall. Well, this dude had a big old belly. But we didn't understand because we was kids. We not used to this area. We're up in the mountains in Campo. So Campo is like high desert. And it snows. It didn't snow while I was there, but it has snowed there before. But it's high desert, like I said, so it gets hot in the summer, but it gets, we've had, like, there's an area where there's always a little runoff water, and that water was frozen, because it was so cold that the water turned to ice. So we're little kids, and it's on a hill, so we were coming from school, and everybody's, jumping on the ice trying to slide down without busting your tail. And most people whoop, bust their tail as soon as they hit the ice. We ain't used to that. I ain't, I didn't experience much ice. And I'm born and raised in San Diego. So that was a new experience for us. But this coach, he would come to work and he would come in and he would have on some OP shorts and then a short sleeve shirt. And we're sitting there, we're freezing. It's early in the morning. We got to come and line up outside in front of the building and get in our certain areas, because lines, by group and all this. So then one line by one, we get a, walk to the chow hall for breakfast. And we're freezing. We got on sweats and then Red Wing boots and then jeans and then a jean jacket and then a beanie. And then we still freezing. But this dude wearing some OP shorts and a short sleeve shirt, smoking a Marlboro. Okay, later on I found out. Now this was later on, like I said, I got special attention. No gay stuff. But there was a situation where this dude he would bring in stuff on his own out of his own pocket. And he would throw a candy bar. It would be quiet time. So during quiet time, you have to sit on your bunk quietly and do whatever you do. I had things to do, and I knew if I kept myself busy, I wouldn't be talking and I wouldn't get in trouble, because this is when you get in trouble and you lose points. Points, get you extra privileges. And that's the thing, I'm always in the minuses, because I'm always getting minus points. So I'm learning how to deal, navigate the system. And you know what I'm saying, before long, you know what I'm saying, I was learning. So when it's quiet time, sit down, find yourself something to do. So I had a deck of cards and I would practice, playing cards and practice dealing from the bottom of the deck. No, I'm not gonna lie, I'm practicing. You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn how to cheat and I'm trying to learn how to watch and catch the next person and see how he's gonna try and cheat me. You gotta stay ready. So anyway, this coach, he was this type of dude. He would just come in. It'd be quiet time, and he'd be watching us, and he'd want some action or something, to liven up the whole situation. So he'd throw a candy bar into the middle of the day room. Now there's a pool table and a ping pong table in the middle, and there's bunks all the way around the building. And this is, what I'm saying, they have East Dorm and a West Dorm. Man, you know what I'm saying? We up in there, and all of a sudden this dude throws a candy bar up in there. And everybody and their mama in range is diving to get a hold of because whatever like, if you and me get a hold of it, you get half and I get half. Whatever you get in your hand, if you get the bigger half, then that's what it is. So little kids, you know what I'm saying, with candy, what? So he also had a softball. And now the coach had a softball, and if he seen you talking and you was talking to your neighbors, then he would, bing you with that softball. No joke, he had a little arm. So then one day he lost his softball. And guess what he did? He replaced it with a golf ball. So now the building, this is all concrete and steel, lockers, bunks, and then concrete walls, concrete floor. And you know what I'm saying? Now this dude is throwing a golf ball, and the golf ball just ping, 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 pow, right in the side of my head. So I'm on my bunk and I'm writing a letter. And out of nowhere, bing, upside the head with a golf ball. You know how? Okay, that's kind of painful. You know what I'm saying? The side of my head, I had a big ooh-wee knot. Now the coach came over. Oh, come on, let me take you in here, and took me in the office. As soon as he got me in the office, give me an ice pack. He's like, oh, you ain't gonna be a punk and snitch, are you? You ain't gonna be a punk and snitch, are you? Nah, man. He's like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'll take you over tomorrow to the trading post, and I'll let you get whatever you want from the trading post for $5. And I said, no, I want 10. And then he said, okay. What? Can you see that right over my shoulder? Right here. The Rady shell is lighting up. There it goes. That's crazy. I didn't know it did that. San Diego Bay is beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's at the Rady Shell. Yeah, so the coach, he calls, you know what I'm saying, he takes me in there, and then he's like, okay, you know what I'm saying, he'll give me the $10. So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get $10. I'm gonna get $10. So I'm thinking about all the stuff I'm gonna buy, you know what I'm saying, but he told me I can't tell nobody. So okay, he's my counselor. The next day he calls me out of class early for counseling. I come back to the dorm. When I get back to the dorm, the van is out front. And he's like, come on. And we get into the van, and he drives me down the road to the trading post. It's a store, like, right? You could literally see it from the camp property in the back of the camp. But you know what I'm saying? He took me all the way down there, and you know what I'm saying? Like he said, he stayed in the van. He gave me a $10 bill. He said, here, you know what I'm saying? Go get your stuff. So I went in the store, you know what I'm saying, to get my stuff. And they knew, you know what I'm saying, I was from Campo, but they know, you know what I'm saying, how things go. And they deal with these coaches all the time. So I go up in there and I get Suzy Q's and Ding Dongs and Ho Ho's and the crumb donuts and the powder donuts. And then I get 2 packs of cigarettes. And now each pack of cigarettes comes with a pack of matches stuck in 2 packs, 2 books of matches. Matches and fire, cigarettes and fire are, hard to get in juvenile camp. But so now, I come, I got my grocery bag with all this stuff, and I come and I get into the van, and I also bought a lighter. So I put that in my pocket. So then when I got in the van, the coach is like, what you get? Let me see. Give it here. What? You said I can get whatever I want. Yeah, I said you can get whatever you want. So he goes to the bag, he takes the cigarettes out, and he's like, you bought these, huh? Okay. I said, no. And he stopped me and he said, you're right. I said you get whatever you want, but you paid for these. They gave you these. You didn't pay for these. So he took both packs of my matches. And I was bummed out, but I'm playing a role because I got this lighter in my pocket. So I'm playing like, I'm going to, I need the lighter. I need the lighter. So he's just thinking, that he don't know. It's going down. But that's the thing, I can sell cigarettes, I can sell lights, I can sell, I'm a hustler. So, and then in Campo, we didn't have much, the most you can get from the little canteen, because you got to work in there. Literally, we were slave labor. And this was when I was 13 years old. And we got to work in the kitchen and clean up and do all the work. And the staff, they have some lazy, sorry staff that just sit around and point and tell us, yeah, do this, and do that, and do this, and do that. And they're not leading by example and training and teaching. They're just dictating. Do this, do that, do this, do that. But that's the way it was, and that's the way the situation was set up. So now this coach, he gave me all this, and then on the way back, he stopped at the staff houses. Now, the staff houses are the staff that live in the houses. They live up there for 3 days, and then they go home for 4 days. Or I think they stay up there for 4 days, and then they go, no, I think they stay up there for 3 days. They get paid 24 hours a day. Then they go home for 4 days, and they're off for 4 days. Then they come back and they stay for 3 days. And they had their own little staff houses across the street from the juvenile camp. And we're on the way back to camp in the van, and I got my bag of groceries, and I'm rich right now, because I got everything. I got stuff you can't even get. But we stop at his staff house, and we pull over, and he's like, hey, I gotta take a dump. Come on in. So I come in, he's like, sit down, make yourself at home. So I sit down, and there's a couch in front of the TV, but on the table in front of the couch is a fifth of Jack Daniels. And here, I'm 13 years old, but you give me an opportunity with a bottle of alcohol, and he goes in the bathroom to take a crap. Man, look, I sit down and crack that bottle open, and I'm not a drinker. I hate alcohol, but I'm a little kid trying to get high, any kind of, buzz, high, whatever I can get. I take and I turn that fifth of Jack Daniels up, and that shit burns all the back of my throat. That shit, I was on fire, and I'm coughing. And then the coach from the bathroom said, hey, it's something to drink in the refrigerator. He knows what I'm doing. He knows I'm trying to chug. I'm trying to chug this bottle of Jack Daniels. I put it up again, and I go get something to drink. I don't remember what it was in this refrigerator, but I was drinking that and hitting that Jack Daniel. And he's in the bathroom taking a crap for 10 minutes. Man, I don't even want no more. I drank so much, I don't even want no more. And it's only been a minute, less than 2 minutes, less than, it's, and I'm, feeling funny already. And so he takes me back to the camp and to the dorm, and everybody's still at school. So I get to stay. I ain't got to go back to school. So I get the pool balls and I start, practicing pool. As soon as I get the pool balls out and I get them, and I try and break the rack balls and slip and miss and throw the damn pool stick across the room. And now all of a sudden the room is getting, you know what I'm saying? I went and lay down on my bunk. So I'm on the bottom bunk. I lay down on the bunk. And I'm just laying there like, whoa, whoa, this is crazy. And then the room starts doing flip flops. Now here I'm 13 years old. I'm sitting. This is the worst feeling ever for a 13-year-old. It was so worse because all the guys came back right. You know what I'm saying? Finally, you know what I'm saying? It stopped flipping long enough for me to get to sleep. And then these guys come back. All the guys come out of school. And everybody comes in with a roar, stomping, banging lockers, making noise, yelling, talking. And I'm sitting there, you know what I'm saying? And my head is about to explode. Don't drink alcohol. Nah, it's, look. So, anyway, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, I ended up doing my time and getting out. And that place, the staff, like I said, they paid me extra attention. I had to do extra because I was wannabe C down. I'm a white crip. So the staff who have done a little, you know what I'm saying, college and, you know what I'm saying, might be, you know what I'm saying, still working on something or retired or just, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I'm saying, but some of them are bright and some of them are dull. But anyway, some of them, you know what I'm saying, are making it a joke to give me extra lessons here. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you think you're a crip? Okay, you know what I'm saying, here. I need you to do a report, a 100-page report on the Black Panthers or on Huey P. Newton or on, you know what I'm saying, and this was education for me. And they didn't realize that I was getting something from this. I was learning. So that's the thing. We got to constantly try and absorb as much as we can. Ain't nobody going to give it to you. You got to go get it. What do you want? That's the thing. Sorry about that. I couldn't help it. I saw something. I had to go grab it. So, do you like the view? San Diego Bay, everybody. Okay, let's see. Trying to see how all this works. This. See, we got a couple people in. Hello, everybody. I see you. We are in San Diego Bay at the Marriott, 17th floor. Up a little bit high, got a beautiful view. Got the Coronado Bridge, got the Rady Shell right there. If you can see, it's right there. There's the Rady Shell. And then right here behind me, that's the Hotel del Coronado. Because this is the San Diego Bay Bridge, Coronado Bridge. It's Coronado right behind me. So on this side, all this is Coronado. It's beautiful out here though. It ain't too hot, it ain't too cold. It's like perfect weather right now. We're outside and literally right on the water, and it's comfortable. It's not, I'm saying, it's nice to know. It's nice. Anybody, where you from out there? Who we got? Anybody want to tap in? Tap in. Who you got? Identify yourself. No, if you don't want to, you don't have to. I appreciate you for tapping in. Thank you. The channel needs you. If you can, hit that subscribe, hit the like, thumbs up. Thanks for watching.